I had a question.
Sure.
While you were talking, that actually came up. Is that that may be something for more advanced? When I was asking the question about the eyes closed, what would you say to someone who's an athlete? It obviously depends on the sport, but let's say they're a rower. So
Sure.
obviously they have a good aerobic, or maybe not obviously, but from being a rower that demands a lot of aerobic capacity, but it's a lot of upper body,
Yes.
as opposed to the lower body. Yes, it gets the whole body involved, I suppose, but they have a lot of, I guess, awareness of where they are in time and space in their upper body. Maybe they would require a bit more on running. Would you still recommend for an experienced athlete, no matter the sport, to begin at the basics, or would you say they have enough of a understanding of how their body works that they can kind of jump into like an intermediate progression, let's say, instead of a beginner?
Yeah, good question. I would say that it's dependent on your sport.
Right, okay.
If you're used to doing one sport, rowing, and then you transition to run, you're taking the fish out of water.
Right. Okay.
Onto land,
Yeah.
yes. So you still want to start at the basics.
Right, okay.
Get good at the basics. I'll say it again, it's very common in high-level athletes, and I'm only saying this for a comparison.
Yeah.
They do the basics every day, and they
Okay.
do it a lot.
Yes,
It's
okay.
part of their routine, it's part of their process. They start with the basics, they return to the basics, they progress from the basics every day.
Right.
Right? They don't spend their time doing the fancy stuff you see on television when they're competing.
Right. Right. Okay.
You know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of those runners that you've seen that are running a marathon or the Olympic track and field races or cross-country races or whatever it might be, they have probably been warming up doing the basics for an hour or more.
Right. Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
it's critical at every level. At every level, it's critical. You don't have to be warming up for an hour or more, but getting to those things, those warm-up activities, doing the stretching and the stability work outside of your running,
Right.
all that stuff is the building blocks to a better, more resilient runner.
Right.
Right?
Right. So, an experienced athlete is not exempt or immune to injury just because they have a base. Like, even if we're talking a soccer player or something like that, still maybe they're used to short sprints, but they need to train their body using the basics always to be able to increase their capacity in a sense of running in a straight line for a long period of time.
Right. There may be sports where the nature of the sport has more of a crossover. Soccer tends to have more of a running crossover.
Right, right.
But rowing does not.
No.
As you can imagine, those feet
Yeah.
are tied into the boat,
Right.
and you're doing things two legs at a time. Very
Right,
different.
right. Yeah, very different.
Somebody that's a swimmer, it's very different. It's still
Yes.
aerobic,
Yeah.
but it's
yeah.
very different. Even a cyclist,
Right.
it's opposing muscles, but it's different positions.
They don't use their arms
One's
either.
a very quad or front part or anterior part of your body dominant. So
Right.
you always back to the basics. I think it's important in every sport, and your first step is really to understand what they are, and we're talking about that
Yeah,
here. So understanding what the fundamentals are, doing them well, doing them often, adding little pieces that are perhaps more advanced as you become ready for it is the best approach.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.